Okay, so discipleship happens through relationship, and it requires lovingly speaking truth in the context of that relationship. But there's one more important principle you'll need to know if you want to be successful at making disciples throughout your life. And it's principle number 3. Discipleship is movement. It's really obvious from our circle. Let's look at that again. Full circle discipleship looks like this. We start by trusting Jesus, we live to honor God, and we mature by helping people. And your goal as a disciple maker is to move people along lovingly. So let's break this down. Let's look at what this means that discipleship is movement. First of all, it's slow. So be patient. Don't force it. Just like gardening, sometimes you can only plant a seed, in this case, a seed of truth, and you just have to wait. It'll take root in time. And don't forget, it's a team effort. So you just need to do your part. You can't make someone follow God. You do your part, they do their part, God does his part. Don't give up. Faithfully share with them, love them, do your best to help them, and hopefully they'll receive it. But it's a team effort. And don't forget, it's messy. So be gracious. You know, you're imperfect. They're imperfect. I'm sure you've messed up in your discipleship, and they'll mess up also. So make sure that you're gracious. I love how Paul said this in Galatians 6. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. See, he's talking about disciple making here. He's talking about discipleship. He said, share each other's burdens, and in this way you obey the law of Christ. Remember the law of Christ in Matthew 22. Love the Lord God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. That's what he's talking about there. And he says, if you think you're too important to help someone, you're only fooling yourself. You're not that important. I love that. I think this really shows us that discipleship can be messy, so we should really be gracious. And lastly, remember that it's a journey, so keep moving forward. You know, you never graduate from one leg of the journey to the next. You never stop trusting Jesus. Even though we start by trusting Jesus, we never stop trusting Jesus. All throughout your life, you'll have new opportunities to trust Jesus. And you never stop honoring God. You never graduate from that. You're always learning how to live to honor God in your life. And we should never stop helping people because that's how maturity really happens for us and for them. So discipleship is a journey, so keep moving forward because discipleship is movement. Now, why don't you hit pause and talk about it for a minute? And if you want to go on and talk more about disciple making in a small group setting, make sure you check out the series called Group Basics.